All right, up here at the top right, the lava-encrusted fiery side of dual sight. It is
Cezanne.
Appropriately playing with the red colored Zerg today on dual sight, since his base is surrounded by lava.
And on the left, in the blue, we have his opponent, the Terran player who never loses to Zerg. It is...
I am happy.
And he's really happy so far.
Yeah.
Won the first map, and that guy just looks so calm. He looks so calm, it's just like he doesn't have any emotions whatsoever. It's like the Iceman. He's looking at your screen and is like, yeah, well, another Zerg player. Bring it, another victim.
Whatevs. Going with the barracks on the low ground. Not floating it down this time, but still going with it on the low ground. May want to put some early pressure on, as he did last game. Probably gonna, he's a smart player, he's probably gonna mix it up. I don't think he's quite gonna go for the same thing as he did before. And actually, you know, he would have probably had to get gassed by now if he was gonna do the same thing. So, probably gonna see, I'm imagining 1-Rax expand, you think?
Sorry, I was just a little bit occupied because I was checking if Cezanne this time would send out the drone scout.
Oh yeah, he is drone scouting. That's good.
And
good point.
I was a little bit confused last game because he only sent these overlords out, and even though they were able to scout the bridges, usually you want that drone in order to scout if there's gas in the opponent's main base, if he's going for a gasless expand, if there's a double barracks somewhere. And yeah, with a play like that, Happy now just trying to hide that barracks a little bit, and Cezanne will look for it, might be afraid of a proxy Rex, and he's getting gas before pool, getting a 15 hatch, then gas before pool, now starts with additional drones. So, kind of a usual play by the Zan, a little bit more greedy than on the last map, but Happy is just sticking to that one barracks, and as you already mentioned, it's going to be that one barracks expand.
Did he see the expansion, just for the record, when he exited with that drone?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't technically see the expansion. He did see the barracks, and that's actually kind of tells him what's going on, because in a way, he put that barracks on the low ground kind of to hide it, so he, when the drone got in there and he didn't see anything, he might be like, oh crap, is it proxy 2-Rax? I don't know! But seeing the Marine and the barracks near his base, he knows it's not any kind of proxy shenanigans. He can probably assume that it's going to be a 1-Rax expansion, and yeah, it's probably going to be fine.
2 Zerglings now. Should get 4 in total to get both Xelanka Watchtowers in the early start of the game and get a scout as well. Metabolic boost coming up. First bunker for Happy. Now trying to play a little bit more safe. He went straight for the double refinery even before he threw down another barracks. So I expect that we will see additional barracks by Happy any second. And yeah, nice overlord placement so far by Happy, trying to get into a good position on the map. And he's going straight for the factory. He's not building any additional barracks with that play. He's going straight for the factory. I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to do. Will he go for the reactor Hellions, which is going to be expected with the reactor already being built? Second barracks now coming up. And this is exactly the kind of play that you can punish as a Zerg player with some initial roaches, something that Cezanne doesn't do at all right now. But yeah.
Yeah.
His loss.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, he hasn't shown any Hellions yet, so no need to make roaches that early on, unless there are Hellions. I mean, especially if you, I don't know if you scouted the bunker yet, actually, but if you see that bunker, then it's like, all right, well, definitely no need to get roaches.
Oh, well, if you get... That's actually just kind of a strategy that you play if you expect your opponent not only to go for some kind of reactor factory play, but if you already think he's going for an expansion on a map like that, you can't just pressure him with 7.
You put pressure on it.
You don't go for an all-in, you just build like 7 roaches. They will be able to help you defend against the Hellions as well, but you just try to pressure. And if your opponent is going for attack and the expansion as well, you can't just bust in, and that one bunker won't help him at all. But with two of those tech labs, Happy is totally aware that something like that could happen. He's going for the Marauder straight away because he knows that push could hit him, and as soon as you have the Marauders, you are safe.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, he is going to be going for Hellions and Marauders, getting stem as well. And there is the Roach Horn going down now, but not until after the... Actually, it might have been a little bit before, but about the same time as that third base going down. So Cezanne deciding, all right, well, you're going to expand. I'm going to double expand.
Yeah, Cezanne is not going for that roach strategy where you put a little bit of aggression and try to put pressure onto your opponent. Yeah, that would require him. Oh, he actually kind of is. He's going for the 8 roaches, but they are way too late. Usually you build that roach run roughly at 30 drones. So that's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see if he's actually trying to attack with them. It won't work at all because there are way too many Marauders right now, but the timing seems just a little bit weird.
No, I think it's probably just a few defensive roaches just because he sees a couple of Hellions on the map and he's like, all right, well, I want to make sure that I don't just die to... Actually, never mind, that's actually a lot of roaches.
Yeah, it's too many. It's 8. If you want a defensive roach, you usually don't go for 8 of them.
I don't know. Well, it's been more common lately for Terran players to keep making Hellions off that reactor and get a ton of Hellions, and so maybe that's what he's thinking. But here's the thing, he is showing these Hellions. He says, look, I've got lots and lots of Hellions, you need to make roaches, and he's saving up. He has not shown the Marauders. He's got 8 of them right now. He's going to have 10 in a second, I believe. Oh, is he going to see? No. Is he going to... Oh, is he going to see the Tech Lab on the barracks? No, he doesn't see it, so he's no idea that the Marauders are coming at all. And actually, no, there's not as many as I thought, but there is going to be 8 to 10 when he moves out here in a moment.
But the thing is, even if he sees the tech lab, that doesn't tell him anything because he's expecting a combat shield and a stim to be researched anyway, so one tech lab is not the problem. But with that push, Happy might be able to kill Cezanne or at least do a ton of damage because there are so many Marauders right now. And Hellion Marauder is so strong if you start roaches.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to... Well, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. He does have a lot of roaches out right now, so the Hellions are not going to be much of a threat. But those Marauders with Stim...
He's supply blocked now, don't forget about that. Stim as well, stimming immediately. Look at all those roaches just evaporating in the Zerglings. They won't be able to take out that army either because of the Hellions. Wow, Cezanne is losing so many units, and Happy, such a smart push with Hellion Marauder. But will Cezanne be able to clean that up with his reinforcements? He might be able to pull it off. Look at that.
The Roach is doing a ton of damage, and the Zerglings as well playing a very good part in the last. Roach gets transfused to just last one more volley longer. I guess that Queen was going to die anyway. You might as well take a few more hits. And Happy just goes ahead and turns around, knowing that the Zergling follow-up will slaughter, and there is the Zergling follow-up. He's going to take that out. He does keep a lot of Marauders left, though, so that means... more Roaches popping out aren't going to be quite as effective in this next volley. Banelings coming out as well. I like that move because Happy's probably going to follow up with Marines. Banelings are good against Marines and, of course, the Hellions as well, so good choice there.
I actually have to admit that Cezanne defended it very, very well.
He actually did it very well, yeah.
But he wasn't able to get as many drones as you usually would like to have against Terran at that point of the game. We have actually a slight advantage in workers for Happy, and he has those mules as well. So with 22 additional Zerglings being built, Cezanne is now focusing on his army, while Happy is getting SCVs as well. He's getting a 3rd base, and now the Spire for Cezanne being built. So Happy was able to kind of trade armies. Actually, none of them really came out ahead. Well, Cezanne lost a lot more gas than his opponent. Happy's losses were mostly minerals, but still, this is quite a nice defense by Cezanne, but he needs to build more drones.
Yeah, and Happy transitioning out of this, by the way, he's getting siege tech, he's getting siege tanks, getting another factory, getting the armory. Don't worry, Kaldor, he's getting an armory earlier this time, so you can get 2-2 going.
He already has 2 engineering bases as well, so...
Yeah. Although, actually, he could start +2 weapons earlier, but that's another story. He's doing fine, and starting to produce some medevacs as well. So he's just transitioning into normal army, keeping those Marauders there, but not investing too much in more Marauders. He's instead just going to go for a lot of siege tanks to deal with the Roaches if there are them.
Yeah, that's really, really smart. I mean, that early push could have finished Cezanne if he wasn't prepared for that. He was able, with the 8 Roaches that he already had on the field, to defend against it. But now, Happy transitioning into Marine tank, not building any additional Marauders. 3rd base for his opponent coming up, and we have planetary tech. The whole army is trying to defend. Army supply is 77 against 75. And here comes Cezanne with the Banelings. Oh, very nice done. He's killing the tanks. There's one tank in the back at the same time. And Happy is actually dropping in supply, but able to deal so much damage to his opponent's army. Look at that. All those roaches. Oh.
Too much damage, though, from all those Marines being output. And the Roaches were just too soft from all that tank fire. Cezanne forced to fall back just for the moment. He's going to have to regroup, get those Zerglings accompanied with his army. He was hoping to catch that third base before the planetary was finished, but it was just too much. And Happy turns it back, and so that means Happy is way ahead in Akami right now. Actually, what is the worker count at the moment?
The worker count is like 63 for Happy and 58 for Cezanne.
Yeah.
I just can't stress enough how well Happy plays against Dirk.
That plus mules means Happy's going to be way ahead in economy. I mean, Cezanne's third base is not very saturated right now.
He has the economy advantage, he has the bigger army, and he has the advantage in upgrades as well. He's researching +2 attack right now. Will probably start with a +2 armor upgrade very soon as well. But this is just such a nice play by Cezanne. In his main base, there is a turret. He needs to repair that one, though. He needs to repair the turret. Bad position between the mineral patches, not able to surround it with the SCVs. And now he's losing a lot more workers than he originally planned on doing. And yep, that defense is a little bit too late. He already lost like 10 SCVs to that push.
Yeah, his anti-muta defense was pretty impenetrable last game. This time showing a little bit less of that. I'm not sure if he was expecting those mutas to come in such force because of the fact that he's been focusing on roaches. And yeah, Cezanne is not ahead in upgrades this time. He's actually just getting +1 weapons. He only has 1 armor, and Happy's getting 2-2 right now. So it's going to end up 1-1 versus 2-2 when all those upgrades finish because there's no second Evo for Cezanne. So this is definitely going to be in Happy's favor, and I don't know what Cezanne is going to do about this, man. He's going to have to pull off something crazy in order to come back. And look at that. Happy, he's like, all right, I'm not going to get caught with my turrets down twice. Puts up a lot of turrets. Now he's defended against those Mutalisks. They cannot do any harassment, which is what he needs to do.
And Cezanne, oh, there it is. He needs to expand again. He needs to take a fourth. We have 3 base against 3 base right now. 167 supply for Happy versus 163 for Cezanne. Happy is moving out now. He wants to deny that fourth. He wants to make sure that there's no fourth base for Cezanne, maybe even killing the third. We have those upgrades. We talked about it, getting the +1 attack for the siege tanks now so that he can one-shot the Zerglings again. And Cezanne is going for 32 additional Zerglings, streaming in with his army. The siege tanks are not sieged up, only 2 of them in the back. Focusing down the banelings. Oh, very well done by Happy, and Cezanne just with a slip up there.
You need to commit or not commit. He went in and took all of the time it took to close with those tanks and then fell back and took more fire going out as well. I mean, yeah, he might have lost everything, but that was just, you know, if you're going to go in, you got to go in. And he went in. It wasn't necessarily the best decision to go in, but anyway, he's trying to pick off some of these tanks in the back. Can't make up his mind which tank to get. He does get one of them on the way out, though. That was actually pretty smart, trying to split his attention there.
Happy already is getting that Thor in order to babysit his tanks a little bit better so that he doesn't have to rely on his Marines. And we have the Zerg player trying to get in from the side once again, but the tanks are sieged up. +3 attack is being researched for the Terran player. There are the Mutalisks doing a really good job. Cezanne now trying to circle his opponent's army in order to pick off tanks left and right wherever he finds an opening.
Yeah, and he actually, that would be the saving grace. Hold that thought. He's coming in from just one side here with a lot of Zerglings and Banelings. The tank's taking out mostly everything, but he just may have too many units. That last tank. And again, pulling out, though. Probably should have thrown those last Banelings in there and let him die accomplishing something, but falls back, saves a few Zerglings, saves these Mutalisks at least.
And Happy did such a good job at splitting his Marines. He did a really good job at keeping them alive. And those Banelings were able to take out some of the army, but not all of it. And still, that fourth is under a lot of pressure, is going to die right now. And Cezanne trying to go for the counterattack, but he's not able to do the damage that he wants to deal. And now with the Mutalisks even approaching the Marines, that's a huge mistake. Backs off after losing 1 or 2 of them. Wow, this is just such a nice game again. And Happy is getting farther and farther ahead in this match.
Yeah, he's got about 30 supply lead right now. And
he's on 2-2 against 1-1 and researching +3 at armor now as well. +3 attack is about to finish. This is horrible for Cezanne. You can't fight with upgrades like that. This is just impossible. You can't fight 3-3 with 1-1.
No, you can't. And here it comes in again, putting some pressure on. Happy has been doing a beautiful job by putting pressure on these new expansions this entire series, last game and this one. taking out the expansions as they pop up. Cezanne, at least to his credit, got his 3rd up this game, but has not been able to get that 4th. Happy is not really expanding much. He's just content to max out here off these 3 bases and just put a lot of pressure on.
I'm a Zerg player myself, and Happy is like my worst nightmare. I'm already a fan. That guy, his unit control is just so exceptional. And Cezanne is like, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to attack, trying to get an angle, but every time I attack somewhere, there are a lot of units just waiting for me to attack. And look at that Thor with a beautiful positioning, even able to save that tech. And now Cezanne is going for the last desperate attempt to win that game, going in with all those Banelings. But what a nice unit split once again. His whole army dying. He's dropping down to 130 supply. And now the second base is being attacked. The Mutal is going in for the kill, but all those Marines, the Thor as well. The Mutas are going to die. Cezanne is about to lose that game. Happy. Wow.
Yeah, that is pretty much the end of it. Cezanne has had a good run here trying to get to Code S this season, but that may have just clinched it for Happy because that was just brutal. Cezanne is trying to get up another base at the right side of the map. He's just gotten the hatch rate, but just like last game, every time Cezanne gets a new base up, Happy pops the last one and obliterates it. And you're right, his unit splitting has just been beautiful. The Banelings have not been able to do much. And there's the GG, his new base under fire. Cezanne knew he was behind.
And I can't believe that he took him out with 2-0 as well. So that guy, he just doesn't lose to Zerg. He doesn't lose to Zerg. I mean, it's like,
there he is. Well. He's like, here it is. I got it back. I was in Code S last season. I'm going to be in Code S again next season. And he deserves to be there, man. He is so good. And it's funny because Happy, he was one of those players that was like the new guy that you hadn't heard too much about and like just started beating everyone really quickly. You know, he kind of came out of nowhere. It's not like he spent a season where he did okay in round of 16 and then next season he got a little farther. No, he just kind of came by storm, I guess. Well, I guess we saw him a little in GSTL and all that. But anyway, Happy is a very, very strong player is my point, and he deserves to be in Code S. So he is going to Code S. Cezanne is going to go to the up and down matches where he will still have a chance of getting into Code S, and hopefully he won't meet with more Terrans because he's going to feel a lot more comfortable against Zergs and Protosses, I believe.
Well, actually, I rather hope that the next Zerg opponent of Happy will be on a whole new level because he's just winning against Zerg. That guy is just unbeatable by Zerg right now. I really want to see which one of the Zerg players in Code S is going to be the first one who's able to take him down because right now that is the 12th win in a row.
Yeah,
without losing a map.
He's ridiculous. He's just ridiculous. I'd be really curious to see him play against Lenok, actually. See what happened there.
Yes, Lenok, Nesti, something like that. Yeah. Maybe Don Ragu is going to have another shot at him as well. The last match that they played ended in favor of Happy as well. So.
Yeah. So I believe we are probably going to be going to another 5-minute break here in just a moment. I'm going to try and get confirmation on that. But do not go anywhere because MC versus Bomber.
MC Hammer time.
Is going to be the next match, and that is going to be crazy. 2 former Titans who haven't been doing as well recently as in like the last 3 months are now doing a lot better recently, like the last few weeks. And they're both trying to get back into Code S, so we're going to find out about what happens between those guys. That's going to be an exciting match. Bomber had at one point what I thought was the best Terran versus Protoss in the world. He thought it too. I remember I asked him about it before a match, and he's like, no, I'm the best in the world at that. We're going to find out if it's good enough for MC, though, in 5 minutes. See you then.